One thing I had just noticed on this tank, bubbles that obviously hadn't been pressure tested. Must be some pinholes under there. And the fumes are starting to lift the paint, so I'm going to have to deal with that. Knock that back and put a bit of what's it called? JB Weld. It's going to spoil that paint job totally. Bloody Indian tanks. Right, I'm not sure how well that shows up. There is just a little faint sort of rust line there, which is the edge of the tube which comes up into the tank. I've obviously just missed a bit of weld there, and the same over here. There's another little bobble there somewhere. Right, so hopefully I can just skim a little bit JB Weld over there. Hopefully that will seal it up. Yeah, it's just going to look a mess really to spray it. Might have to try and get some touch-up paint rather than try and spray it. That's still going to show because that rubber bung only goes out so far. Yeah, it's just ruined that really, isn't it? Very thin skim of JB Weld just over that joint. Hopefully it will work. Yeah, painting that is going to be the problem now. Or trying to, not so much painting it, trying to blend it in. JB Weld is cured. I'm just now going over with some sandpaper, just trying to blend it in as best I can. Obviously you don't want to go too far because I'll just get down to the where the hole was again. So I've just got to carefully, I'm trying to get a bit of a chamfer on it, so I've got to high this end and low that end. Yeah, so it's just very, very carefully try and not to get too far into the paintwork, so I don't want to have to paint the whole thing again. And I'm in two minds whether to just mask off a circle and spray the area black, so when the bung goes back in it kind of like blends in. Whether that will work or not I don't know, or whether to just try and get some the touch-up paint and the little brushes and just go around that. Not really decided yet, but first thing is to get all this down, try and flatten that off a bit. So taking that down, that's just with some 180 grit. Now going to have to go with something a little bit finer to see if I can blend that in a little bit better and get rid of these scratches. And then going to have to try and blend it in with paint, which is not really going to, you are going to see a line. Can't really do much about that, but hopefully the fact there's a rubber bung there will disguise it a little bit, hopefully. Doesn't look too bad. But yeah, couldn't have left it as it was. That would have just crept under further and further under the paint, and I'd ended up with a great big blister there. So I had to sort it. So I think what I'll do is I'll take that down, then I'll get a little bit of primer on there and see if anything comes through. And if that is okay, I'll then get some top coat on. But like I say, I'm going to have to brush it on. It's not going to look great, which is a real shame because the rest of it is not too bad. So yeah, that's one of those things. Right, got some primer on that. Just have to leave that to dry. And in the meantime, not giving time to go off and get some touch up the right colour in these little touch up paints, if I can get one, that is. If not, I'm just going to have to spray some of that paint in a little container and just find a little fine tooth brush, fine brush to get it on there with. I don't really want to spray it, just get overspray and all that. I'm trying to contain it in this little area. Got a little bit of bubble in there. I think that might just be the I think that's the primer reacting with some. I might have to just rub that down again there and give it another going over. The rest of it looks okay though so far. Yeah, bit of a fiddly job. Right, that's that rubbed back a little bit, trying to blend it in as best as possible. It's a little bit difficult working in such a small area, so I'm trying not to go out too far. And unfortunately I couldn't get exactly the right colour, exact colour match in a touch-up paint, so this is going to be a little bit trial and error, see what it comes out like. So yeah, again I've got to try and keep it as tight as I can. I did think about cutting out a circle and masking it and doing it, which if I was going to spray it, that would probably be what I was going to do. You know, if I was going to do a black, just do a black ring. But I'll try it with this touch-up paint first and see how it comes out. If it looks too bad, I will just do a black circle there, I think. Yeah, so let's get this little bit of touch-up on and see what it looks like. Right, now I've got my brake light working, which was a little bit of a challenge. These switches, they are a silly idea, to put it bluntly. They are off where this lever is here. This is the actuating lever. So you have off, on, off. So you have a very, very finite adjustment here, which is the bit which actually operates the little lever there. That lever would normally swing right over here. That would normally be down here. What I've done, seems to be a bit of a common problem with these. People having trouble adjusting them. So what I've actually done is put a little stop in there. So I've just drilled and tapped that. That's a little M4 socket, Allen socket head bolt, and it just stops this going right over to the off position again, so it stays on. It can't go any further than that. It's on there and off there. Yeah, what a really crap idea. All that needed was the contacts, or the actual moving arm on the inside, to be further over before it goes off. Bit of a crap design, whether that's based on the original, because obviously this is a pattern part, whether they've actually copied faithfully the originals or whether they haven't, and that's what the problem is. I don't know if the originals did that or not, but I'm sure someone will let me know if they have one. Yeah, so anyway, that is now get my key in there. Now I've got my lights on there, but I don't really need them on. So we now have a stop light working. Hopefully I'll get everything in shot. I'm sort of stretching my arm here a bit. Let's just try that further back there. Mate, I can't really see the back screen, so whether that's coming out or not, I don't know. But yeah. Sorted that out. Right. Yeah. So what else we got? Well, I'm still sorting out the tank there. I've just got a little bit of waiting for that primer. I think what it's called from it there. Yeah, waiting for that primer to cure, and then I can top coat that, and hopefully that'll sort out that little problem there. And the other thing I want to try and do is get some sort of baffle in here, because this is incredibly loud, and yeah, I'll be upsetting the neighbours, I think, if I leave it as it is. Yeah, so that's just I mean, really so close. I've got the side panels done, just waiting for them to fully cure before I fit them, because if not, it tend to pull the paint out when you put the oddie clips in there, oddie pins. Yeah, so basically there, just waiting for the V5 now, really, and then that'll be a little test ride, which should be quite exciting to see how this rides. Yeah, so coming along very nicely. Just going around that as best I can. Just got to leave that to dry for 24 hours now. And then go over with some lacquer. That is a little bit darker, as you can probably see. Like I say, once the bung is in the middle there, hopefully it won't look too out of place. But certainly better than having to respray the whole tank. I didn't really want to do that. Yeah, and the other thing is, you don't know if any other bits might appear once I actually start using the bike. So yeah, there might be some more bits to patch up. So if you had a complete respray done again, could be a complete waste of time. But, okay, yeah, that is quite a bit darker actually, that touch-up paint. So I think I'm going to have to see if I can get some colour match done for that. But that will, at least it's sealed up anyway, that will kind of have to do for now, I think, until I can get the proper paint, and then I'll have to sand that down again. It's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, one of those things, can't be helped. I think I will have to do that, because it's going to annoy me otherwise, because it is right in view when you're sitting on the bike. Yeah, so that's work in progress. Well, that is supposed to be colour matched, but to my eye, that's definitely not. Yeah, that's too light, much too light. I think rather than muck about, I think I'm going to have to do what I was going to do to start with, which is just do a circle of black. Yeah, so that is just not right. Also got a few little streaks in it which don't help, but even without that, you can see that's just not right. Yep. Back to square one. I just couldn't put black paint on there in the end, so what I did, I just masked around the area, put a little bit of the normal spray over what the original tank was done in, and as close as I could to the bit I needed to cover, and then went over a larger area with some lacquer. Also I've got this edge where the masking tape was, that shows up there just about, maybe you can see it by eye anyway if it doesn't come out on the video. So I'm now just going round with some 1200 to take this little edge off, take that down, and then some cutting compound or rubbing compound to get rid of the marks, and I'll probably go with a bit of T-cut after that. And I think once that's polished, a bit of polish on there, I think that might be okay. So I've just got to be very, very careful and just blend this line in and try and get it looking like the original, or the previous coat I put on. Yeah, so I'll keep at that, and hopefully that will come out okay. Right, I'm just giving that a little bit of polish. You can just see a little bit of a different coloured line around there, so I might even give that another go over with the cutting compound just to try and blend it in a bit more. Although I don't want to overdo it and go through the lacquer, but I think it looks better than it did. Anyway, yeah, just a pity I had that little leak to start with. More polish in there, and under there, a little bit of polish gone hard. Yeah, so I think I'll just see how that goes. If that annoys me too much, I'll give it another going over with the cutting compound. I think I might have saved it, because the only other alternative would have been complete respray. Didn't want to go there, really. Not quite so soon anyway, after doing it. Yeah, so I've got to put that bung back in, and that'll be it. Right, so this the exhausts on here, they are just open, a little bit loud. So I've got a couple of these off eBay, a couple of these Baffles. Don't think they're really meant for this. The only thing is with these, how they come is with that screw there, that Allen head bolt. So what you're meant to do is have a hole in here and fit that in and screw that bolt through just to hold it in place, which I'm not that keen on drilling these new exhausts, even from the underside, because I may not want to put these in. It depends what it's like once they're fitted. So what I've done, as you can see with that one, I've just reversed the screw so I can insert that in there. These are 35mm OD, by the way, these Baffles, and that thing there, you can undo that and you can adjust this plate, put that in different positions and sort of stop there, to reduce or increase the flow. Yeah, so what we'll do is just, I can pop that in there, I'll just tap that in a bit so it's a bit tighter, and then I'll just cut down an Allen key so I can get on the inside of that and just tighten that down. So what I will do before I fit that is, actually I have got decibel meter. So what I'll do is set this up so we can get a reading before and after with these in, just to see what sort of difference that make, really. Just a little bit of interest, and see if they do actually do anything at all, because these are pretty loud, these pipes. Yeah, so I'll set that up and have a look at that. Right, so there's a couple of ways of measuring this according to the ACU. Well, for official measurement anyway, but we're really only doing a comparison here, so it's not that critical. There's the max test, which involves running the engine up to maximum RPM for 1 second, where you have the meter 2 meters away at a 45-degree angle from the exhaust, which I'm not going to do because this engine is not run in yet, so I don't want to run up to maximum RPM. So the alternative is forget what it was called, static test. So have the meter at 50 centimeters away from the exhaust, and you just run it up to two-thirds maximum throttle to get a reading. So that's what I'm going to go with. Yeah, so I'll get this started. I can't actually put my camera on the tripod because I've got the meter on the tripod. So if I can find something to place this on. That should do it. Right there. So she'll start.